All right, folks, we are going to smoke a cigar. So everyone who's going to have one has one in their hand. Now I think I have the only cutter here.
I think so.
So we're going to start off by cutting a cigar. However, one of the keys about smoking a cigar is just appreciating it. So behind every cigar, there's a lot of work. And the key to this particular cigar that everyone has is all the work that Murray's put into it. He almost went to jail. He spent 2 hours in the Cancun Customs Department negotiating the freedom of these cigars right here. So we got to appreciate that. Yeah, he came along with the cigars. So, but behind every cigar is a lot of work. And these are Cuban cigars, and probably the best in the world. This particular one is a petite torpedo. So it's good if you haven't smoked a cigar before, because it has a kind of a smaller ring gauge. Ring gauge is just the circumference, and torpedo, right, is the shape, just the pointy end to it. And torpedo to me is the best shape, because when you draw on the cigar, you capture the most flavor, because it forces it all through a smaller point, which leads to the cut. So when you cut a cigar, you want to basically cut the least amount possible, so that again you're drawing as you smoke the cigar, you're drawing the most flavor through all takes it through all the leaves. Now, with the cigar, you don't want to overhandle it. Every time you have a cigar in your hand, you want to do everything slow. So when you're doing a cut on a torpedo, the key is to kind of come down to, you can say about halfway down. The better the cigar, actually, the smaller the cut can be. So the further down the kind of point you can go. And but on a cigar like this, I'm going to go about a third of the way. Rapido. So that's a pretty clean cut. And yeah, so everybody give that a shot. Cool. Everyone who's going to cut their cigar. Another aspect of a good cigar is the drink you have with it. And the key to having a good drink is a drink you like. I wouldn't have a drink you don't like. Right. But it's always nice to do a pairing with the Cuban rum. So which again, thanks to Murray there. A lot of hard work getting that baby across the border, and it's great. Cuban rum, especially with Coke and lime, Cuba Libre. So next stage for a cigar is simply lighting it. Sounds pretty simple, but there is a bit of an art to it. Couple key aspects. One, what you want to do is when you light it, you want to get it even, so that as you smoke it, it's going to burn evenly. So the key you do there is just like Leaf, you'll know with cooking steaks, you got to sear it. Right. So really what you want to do is you want to get a lot of heat really quick, so that the outside surface goes black quick, and it goes black, and then just so you see a little bit of white, so that it's starting to ash. But so you want to go around, do it relatively quick, and then I don't know how well that's coming out, but that should be black. I'm going to assume. I can't really see it. You can probably see it better than I can. And so once you sear it, the next stage is you actually want to light it with cedar wood. The key is, and the reason is because when you use too much butane, the butane actually gets into the tobacco, and then you're tasting the tobacco, or you're tasting the butane. So you, all the Cubans, I don't know about non-Cuban cigars, they'll put in a thin layer of cedar wood in every cigar box. So what you do is you take a portion of that and you break it off. And if you go into any cigar shops, and especially in Chicago, Iwan Reese is one of the most famous cigar shops in the world. It's a great place. And you can go in there and they'll give you this. And if you're buying a cigar and they're handing you little sticks of this, you're kind of going, why are they doing that? It's so that when you light your cigar, you're lighting it from, where'd my cigar go? Cigar on the loose.
Oh, you got it.
Where's it? Oh, right in my hand. Oh, it's the lighter. It's the lighter I'm looking for. There we go. So here you go.
Yeah.
So you want to you light the cedar, and another key is it can't be too windy out here, which I think we could get away with it. So you keep that baby going. No. Let's try that again. Leaf, you got your here, sir. Ah, you dirty rat. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now as we light this baby, you just want to rotate it around so you get the even burn. Yeah. So we only used about. Do we have an ashtray? Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
No, I didn't see her yet.
So this one only caught about the bottom part. So you leave the unlit part up. So then soon it'll move up and then get an even burn going. And the nicer the cigar, the easier the draw. And again, I don't know how well you can see that, but Mary and I were having one of these yesterday, and just by holding this, you can see the smoke coming through here. Right? It's such a well-made cigar that it draws on its own. And it's just so easy to draw. So I'd work on it until the red part just makes kind of an even round spot, and then it'll burn nice and even the whole time. Now, a couple of things for the guys who didn't want to have a cigar tonight. One of the keys is you don't want to inhale. It sounds so simple, but if you're a cigarette smoker or smoker of other things, and you inhale automatically, right? And that'll just make you sick. So your key is if you smoke cigarettes, you have to consciously think, don't inhale. I mean, you have to kind of almost go, like, because otherwise you'll inhale and then you'll get sick. You just won't enjoy it. So that's one of the key things that, like Leaf, you smoke cigarettes, right?
Right, yeah.
So
I have to consciously decide.
And yeah, because we talked about that before. Yeah. So guys who maybe don't want to smoke because you think, as long as you don't inhale, I mean, it's not going to hurt you, kind of thing. And in fact, it's really enjoyable. Right. The key then, once you get it lit, is because I've been kind of working a little bit, as I'm getting it lit. But once it is lit, well, you're just breathing. I mean, the key is to breathe, which most of us should be able to do that. and I mean, it's almost like meditating when you used the term earlier, Spencer, making space, and I think that's one of the best way to describe having a cigar is you get relaxed and you just make space. Like once you start smoking a cigar, you can't start worrying about all kinds of different things. It just slows down. You think about all the hard work gone into each cigar. You just make space, and it's almost impossible to smoke a full cigar and not be completely relaxed at the end.